Today we will talk about iPhone SE 3. The iPhone SE 2020 could get a 2021 successor. The iPhone SE 3 didn't appear at the spring-loaded Apple event on April 20th among all the other big product announcements, which followed rumors suggesting the iPhone SE 3 wouldn't be among them. That means we likely won't see the budget phone launch this year. But Apple could still surprise us by bucking its own trends. Easy add some of the features from the flagships to the next mid-range iPhone SE. We were hoping to hear about a new one at the iPhone 12 launch, but that didn't end up happening. The iPhone 12 mini was shown off, which is a compact new iPhone, but it's a lot pricier than an SE iPhone. It wasn't a completely new concept for the company, after all. The iPhone SE 2020 followed the original 2016 iPhone SE, but it was a concept we hadn't seen Apple dabble with for a while. Latest news: the iPhone SE 3 didn't land at Apple's spring-loaded event, which means we might be waiting until 2022 to see it. We're not too surprised though, as we've previously seen a couple of leaks and rumors suggesting that there won't be an iPhone SE 3 this year, perhaps to give the iPhone 13 mini more time in the spotlight. So we might be waiting a long time for the phone, if we get it at all. If that's the case though, then there may well be one in 2022 at least, because it's also rumored that there won't be an iPhone 14 mini, meaning Apple might rely on the SE line for fans of smaller phones. And there's also the iPhone SE Plus to consider. This was rumored to land sometime after the iPhone SE 2020, and while we haven't heard much about it lately, Ming-Chi Kuo, an analyst with a good track record when it comes to Apple, claimed back in April 2020 that the iPhone SE Plus might not land until the second half of 2021. So this might land instead of the iPhone SE 3, or maybe we'll get an iPhone SE 3 and an iPhone SE 3 Plus. It's hard to say at this point. As for the price, there's no news there. But the iPhone SE 2020 starts at $399, so the iPhone SE 3 is likely to have a similar price, if not perhaps slightly higher. The iPhone SE 3 might have a similar price to its predecessor above. iPhone SE 3 news, leaks, and rumors. We haven't heard much about the iPhone SE 3 yet, but if it ends up being the rumored iPhone SE Plus in all but name, then it will presumably have a larger screen than the 4.7-inch iPhone SE 2020. Rumors have put it at either 5.5 or 6.1 inches. Given that the iPhone SE 2020 shipped with the latest available Apple chipset, we can also assume that the iPhone SE 3 will do the same, likely meaning the A14, which we're expecting to debut in the iPhone 12 range. What we want to see: as good as the iPhone SE 2020 is, there's always room for improvement. So here's what we want from the iPhone SE 3. A modern design. The iPhone SE 2020 has a rather old-fashioned design, and certainly an older design than the rest of the current iPhone range. So we'd like to see things brought up to date for the iPhone SE 3. By that we mean get rid of the home button and the big bezels above and below the screen for a more modern look. Doing this would also allow Apple to increase the screen size without increasing the overall size of the handset. An OLED screen with a higher resolution. iPhone SE 2020. The SE 2020's screen doesn't overly impress. The iPhone SE 2020 has an IPS LCD screen with a 750x1334 resolution, neither of which are exactly cutting edge. Now, there are of course limits to what can be done with a mid-range phone. That said, we wouldn't count on getting either. Apple rarely competes with Android phones on pure specs. Better battery life. The iPhone SE 2020 has a small 1821 mAh, which might seem reasonable given the phone's compact size, but we found it didn't go far, lasting around a day. That's not terrible, but it's certainly not impressive. So we'd like much more from the battery in the iPhone SE 3. Whether that's achieved through increasing the size or making things more efficient, keep it small and affordable. The iPhone SE 2020 stands out through both its small size and its relatively affordable price, and we want both of those things to remain for the iPhone SE 3. There aren't many compact phones anymore, certainly not ones with good specs, and nor are iPhones known for being affordable, so the two things make for a great combination. More cameras? The iPhone SE 2020 has just one camera on the back and one on the front, and while they perform reasonably well, they don't give you the versatility that you can get with more lenses. A higher refresh rate. Another feature offered by a number of rivals now is a high refresh rate. The iPhone SE 2020 has a 60Hz refresh rate, which until relatively recently was what all handsets other than gaming phones offered. But now a number of mainstream models have refresh rates of 90Hz or 120Hz. But it would be great if the company did start including This is a standard feature. It could still differentiate by giving its flagships a 120Hz or higher rate, and the iPhone SE3 a refresh rate of 90Hz. So guys, this was all known information at the moment. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe, click to bell. Siri was with you.